The competitive video games glowing on your screen right now are not actually games anymore. They are highly sophisticated, interactive dopamine dispensaries designed to mirror the exact neurological architecture of a high-frequency trading algorithm. You are not just playing for fun. You are participating in a multi-billion-dollar behavioral experiment designed to keep your nervous system in a state of perpetual, exquisite tension. Every matchmaking system, every sudden loss, and every near-miss victory has been reverse-engineered to exploit the ancient survival mechanisms of your mammalian brain. We have cracked open the digital hood, and what we found inside explains exactly why you cannot seem to walk away. By the end of this journey, you will understand the precise digital mechanism known as the variable ratio reinforcement schedule, paired with adaptive matchmaking algorithms. You will see exactly how these systems bypass your conscious mind, target your mesolimbic pathway, and physically alter the gray matter density in your prefrontal cortex. Think back to last night, or perhaps the night before, when you found yourself staring at your screen at 2 in the morning. Your eyes were burning, your shoulders were tense, and you had just lost 3 matches in a row. And yet, what did you do? You clicked that matchmaking button one more time. Why? To understand this, we have to look at a groundbreaking study published by cognitive neuroscientist Dr. Luke Clark in the year 2009. Dr. Clark investigated how the human brain processes what we call the near-miss effect. In his research, he placed participants in functional magnetic resonance imaging scanners while they played a game of chance. He discovered that when a person experiences a near miss, meaning they almost won but just barely lost, their brain registers that event with a massive spike in metabolic activity in the ventral striatum. That is the exact same brain region that lights up when you actually win. Think about the sheer audacity of that biological trick. Your brain does not register a close loss as a failure. It registers it as a signal that you are getting closer to a reward. In the wild, if an ancient human threw a spear at a deer and barely missed, that near miss was a valuable data point. It meant success was just one adjustment away. Today, competitive game developers use this evolutionary loophole against you. When you lose a match by a single point, or when your opponent escapes with just one sliver of health, your brain does not scream, "Stop, this is a waste of time." Instead, it floods your system with a chemical message that says, "You are almost there, try again." Have you ever closed a game in sheer frustration, only to reopen it less than 60 seconds later? That is the biological loop in action. The game is not a toy. It is an interactive slot machine that replaces cherries and bells with tactical shooters, sports simulations, and battle royales. When you click play, you are entering an environment where every single variable is carefully calculated to keep you suspended in a state of perpetual anticipation. Now, let us turn up the heat and look at the actual biological engine driving this entire phenomenon. Many people assume that dopamine is the molecule of pleasure. They think we get a rush of dopamine when we win, and that is why we keep playing. But that is actually a profound scientific misunderstanding. In the year 2016, legendary neuroscientist Dr. Kent Berridge published a landmark paper on the distinction between what he called wanting versus liking. His research proved that dopamine is not the molecule of satisfaction, it is the molecule of anticipation. Dopamine does not care about the victory itself, it cares about the search for victory. Your brain actually releases more dopamine during the stressful struggle of an uncertain match than during the actual moment of victory. Let that sink in for a moment. The stress is the point. The uncertainty is the drug. If a game was completely predictable, if you won every single time or lost every single time, your dopamine levels would completely flatline. You would get bored and walk away. To prevent this, competitive games utilize matchmaking algorithms that analyze hundreds of data points from your past performance. These algorithms are not trying to give you a fair game, they are trying to find the exact threshold of your frustration. They want to give you a match that is just hard enough to keep you stressed, but just winnable enough to trigger that near-miss loop. This creates a profound shift in how we must view our digital lives. Before you understood this science, you probably thought you played games to relax, unwind, or hang out with friends. But the biological reality is much more sobering. You are placing your brain into a state of simulated survival. During a high-stakes competitive match, your amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, is fully activated. Your heart rate rises, your cortisol spikes, and your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for long-term planning and emotional regulation, goes completely offline. You are physically sitting in an ergonomic chair, but neurologically, you are running from a predator in a primeval forest. And the moment the match ends, instead of letting your nervous system recover, the algorithm instantly presents you with another lobby, starting the entire cycle over again before your stress hormones can even begin to clear your bloodstream. So, how do we reclaim our neural pathways without throwing our consoles into the trash? We do not need to abandon technology. We need to outsmart the design. First, you must implement what we call the friction protocol. The algorithms rely on seamless transitions to keep you trapped in the loop. The moment a match ends, the interface makes it incredibly easy to click play again. To break this, you need to introduce physical friction. Unplug your controller after every session. Log out of your gaming account so you have to manually type in your password every single time you want to play. By forcing your brain to take these extra conscious steps, you interrupt the automatic dopamine-driven feedback loop and give your prefrontal cortex enough time to wake up and ask, do I actually want to play another game, or am I just reacting to the screen? Second, utilize the dopamine decoupling strategy. If you find yourself trapped in a competitive game that makes you feel anxious and depleted, temporarily swap it for a game with predictable progression or a cooperative loop. When you remove the unpredictable matchmaking algorithm, you remove the variable ratio reinforcement schedule. You are essentially transitioning your brain from an unpredictable digital casino to a stable digital playground. This allows your dopamine receptors to down-regulate, breaking the frantic wanting cycle and returning you to a state where you can actually experience genuine liking. Third, establish a strict post-match state change. Stop queuing immediately. The moment a match ends, regardless of whether you won or lost, you must physically stand up and leave the room for 5 minutes. Do not look at your phone. Do not check social media. Walk to the window, look at something far away, and perform a physiological sigh. 2 quick inhales through the nose, followed by 1 long, slow exhale through the mouth. This simple physical action instantly activates your parasympathetic nervous system, lowering your heart rate and flushing out the cortisol that was generated during the game. Only after those 5 minutes have passed are you allowed to decide if you want to play again. When you look at your screen now, you should see it for what it truly is. You are not weak-willed. You are not lacking in discipline. You are a biological organism interacting with some of the most powerful, resource-rich cognitive engineering departments on the planet. Your brain's ancient survival hardware is being run on software written by someone else. But now, the curtain has been pulled back. You understand the math, you understand the biology, and you understand the trap. You are no longer a passive participant in their behavioral feedback loop. You are now the conscious architect of your own digital attention. The next time you feel that familiar, urgent pull to play just one more match, you will recognize it not as a genuine desire, but as a carefully engineered neural echo. Take a deep breath, step back from the screen, and remember that your attention is the most valuable resource you own. If you want to continue decoding the hidden science of what the digital world is doing to your brain, your body, and your future, subscribe to Digital Decoded. Share this with a friend who needs to hear the truth about their late-night gaming sessions. Next time, we are going to dive deep into a silent, invisible digital phenomenon that is actively altering your sleep architecture without you ever realizing it. Until then, keep your eyes open, protect your focus, and stay decoded.